Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I'm here with the masterpiece version of Inferno MP33 in a very nice box. You can see him on the back, even has a little picture of him with red alert, masterpiece version, and Optimus. Nice on the sides, shows you in his various modes. Now, I got this from AliExpress, and AliExpress has a lot of vendors who have counterfeits or knockoffs. I can't tell if this is a knockoff. There's nothing in the description from the buyer. It cost me about 50-ish bucks for this, so I don't know if this is a counterfeit. So I'm gonna say it's real. Maybe it was overstock from Takara, but I'm gonna go through him bit by bit. And if you can spot anything that says that this is not a genuine Takara product, please let me know. It does have the Takara Tomy label on it, but then again, lots of the counterfeits have Hasbro, Pawtucket, Rhode Island on it. So we're gonna go through them piece by piece and see if this is something that you want in your collection. Be right back. Now, before we get into Inferno, I do want to point out I have this awesome Devastator shirt. This is from TeePublic. There's a link in the description to a whole bunch of Transformer shirts. They have some very cool shirts. You should check them out, because people are always saying I have great Transformer shirts, because I do. Some of them you can get now, some of them you can't. But this is one that you definitely can if you like Devastator, or if you like a number of the other Transformer shirts that they have available. And it's supporting independent artists, so why the hell not? All right, on to Inferno. Yes, I opened him up because I don't want my editor to have to cut out lots of footage of me trying to figure out how to transform this thing. But here he is in his plastic. He's got instructions, a nice little card, stickers, which I'll put on later. They say fire department on him. I think you know this is a fire truck. There he is in the plastic. He has interchangeable fronts. Comes with Inferno's gun. An alternate nozzle to go on instead of his missile hand. As I said, the two alternate fronts, he's got a different helmet and different faces. And these things, which I'm not exactly sure what they do, maybe there's some clue in the instructions. It has a water effect, splish splash, and a hose that I probably will not bother taking out and attaching. It'll just get lost or chewed on by the cats. And of course, the fire truck itself. Not the best rolling vehicle I've ever seen. Unlike a lot of the new toys that come out, this is actually packaged in vehicle mode. But it's a nice fire truck overall. It does have these hoses on the side. It does have these stabilizers that can pull out, which I believe most fire trucks use to combat the water pressure going through its pumps and spraying out and all that stuff. So that's a nice touch. It also has a ladder. That is not the easiest thing in the world to extend, but there we go. But what's neat, it does go up. It's got a nice ratcheting click to it. And it has this little piece up here that you can have a little water cannon on the front, which has actually been seen in the show. And you can take the water effect and attach it to the end. So there you go. He's fighting fires, which is, you know, kind of his job somewhat. When he's not, you know, fighting Decepticons or being told to guard red alert, which he really doesn't like to do all that much. But definitely a cool fire truck, very solidly put together. And if you were to display him just like this, that would be fine. But you probably want to see the robot mode. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, I'm right. So we're gonna go ahead and transform him. Now the interesting thing with this transformation, one, is that once you put the ladder down, you actually can fold the ladder like so. It's a pretty clever transformation overall, but it is very exacting, almost like a third party. And again, for children, I'm not going to recommend that you use this for kids unless they are exceptional, because there, as you can see, are so many little pieces. Like I said, it's very clever, but there are some kind of complex things you need to do to get him into his robot mode. So there he is in his robot mode, a very cool representation of Inferno. He's about 9 inches tall, but let's go through the posability on this guy. First of all, his legs can move up. He just about does a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. His legs don't quite spread all the way out. And you can hear that ratcheting sound. The joints are nice and stiff on this, so if it is a counterfeit, kudos to you guys. He does have the ability to bend at the knee. He can move his legs out, forward, back, pretty far. He's not like a ninja. He does have the ankle rockers, swivels, so you can put him in a nice dynamic pose. He also twists at the waist, though when you put him all the way to the side, he looks kind of doofy, so I would just do a little bit of a tilt to either side. The arms can move forward and back. There are joints that allow him to spread his arms quite a bit. There's no swivel within the arm, so you can't swivel it to the side. It does have the elbow, and as you can see, the shoulder just attached, easy enough to put back in. I don't think that's an indicator that it's a knockoff or not. I think that's just the mold. But he can bend his elbow very well. The fists, when they are out, instead of using the cannon or missile as was the original. But the fists do twist, the head, the entire thing turns. So the fact that he's got these wings on the side and the nozzle don't interfere with his ability to turn and see what's happening around him. So the posability is pretty darn good, I would say. Definitely better than the original. Now he does have some additional features, like you can swap out his very chrome and nice weapon. You can actually pull it right off and put on a more dull silver gray weapon, which could be more of a nozzle, and you can attach the water to it. So he's he's spraying water all over the place. Oh, the legs, by the way, do have a pivot on them, so it kind of makes up a little bit for the arm thing. I do like the silver one better, so we'll put that one on there. You can actually swap this for a hand. There is a hand in here. You have to open it up. I think you want to take this out, makes it a little easier, or you can have it in. And the tip of the weapon folds nicely into the arm, so you can't really tell. So if you want it to be two-handed, you can certainly do that. The left arm does open up as well, and you can put the fist away, but there's not really anything to replace it with. So, and as you can see, the shoulders popped out again. I think that's just part of how this mold works. Easy enough to pop back in. I'm gonna bring out his silver gun because I like his silver gun because it's more like the cartoon. Now he does have different front plates that you can put on. So I can pop this one off and put, maybe it might be a little more cartoon accurate. I'm not sure. Instead of the silver chrome, he's got more of a very light gray color. To be honest, I like the chrome better. Though he does also come with this weird looking replacement plate, and it has supports. So if you want him carrying red alert, that's what that's for. When I first saw it, I'm like, what the heck is that for? But that allows you to carry red alert. I do like the silver piece better. It's having a little bit of trouble detaching right now. I'll probably have to use a flathead screwdriver very carefully to wiggle off the front. And I think that is kind of the bad part about having detachable and reattachable parts, is sometimes they're not as easy to reattach or detach as you think, especially when you get them in there really good. The helmet comes off. He's got a different style helmet. You can see that's the one that just came off. This one looks a little bit more like the show. He's got different expressions on his face, so we can take off one face and then put on a different face entirely. So the different face and helmet. It's kind of neat to have those options, so you can make your Inferno as customized as you want within, you know, these limitations. But he is a very cool figure. Again, he wasn't that expensive. That's why I'm not sure if he is truly a knockoff or just a overstock that they got at a cheap price. I know these guys used to go for 80, 90, 100 bucks at least, and still do some places. He was actually listed at $50.07, and with promo codes and coupons, I managed to get it down to, including tax, about $45. So it was definitely worth it to me to get it at this price. And if you're a fan of Inferno, it might be worth it to you. Again, very stable in his posing. You can move his legs in a number of directions. Arms are nice and tight. So definitely a cool masterpiece. Again, I cannot guarantee this is not a counterfeit, but a difference that makes no difference is no difference, I guess. I would be honest in telling someone who bought it from you if you decided to sell it later that you got it from AliExpress and work out a good price if you decided to ever sell this guy. Or he could just stay on your shelf forever. So I will put a link down in the description to where I got this guy. I'm sure they're also available on eBay, so I'll put a link to those as well in case you're more comfortable purchasing through eBay than AliExpress. It's totally up to you. And while you're debating about this guy, let's take a look at his cousin, Artfire, and we'll actually take a look at two different versions of him right over here. And if you like this video, hit that like button. You can, of course, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.